Hello everybody, this is Jeanne Omlor, the online business profit strategist, otherwise known as the Organic Queen. Just starting my live today. I'm going to share to a group, my group. Which one? Sharing. Boom. Okay, so today we are going to talk about superior productivity. So productivity that will, hi Gregory, productivity that will maximize the money you're earning and also take your life back. Okay, I'm gonna wait a couple seconds. Thank you for the hearts. Hashtag live would be great. You know that, I love that. And I'm gonna wait a little tiny bit because I know that people, it's a Saturday. Hey Kim, how are you from New York? Jackie, how are you today? Okay, as I said, today is all about productivity. And it's not what you think. It's not about doing every single thing on your task list. Hi, Jeanne Omlor, how are you? Okay, Robin, how are you? Hashtag live would be great. We're going to start in a second. Why don't you all say where you're from? I love seeing where people are from. Just tell me where you're from. Hey, Steve, how are you? So, Jackie, Ed, hi Ed, how are you? Another New Yorker. Okay, so if you're turning up, please tell me where you're tuning in from. I know I got 3 New Yorkers already. Two New Yorkers are there so far. Okay, today I'm going to talk about how to get superior productivity so you can make more money and take your life back. Okay. Oh, that's right. You're in LA, sunny Florida. Jackie, Robin's from LA. Okay, let's get started. All right. The first thing, hey Jeannie, how are you? Okay, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the mindset around getting things done. Oh, Cynthia, hey, how are you? From Maryland. Okay, so the first thing is hey Julia, the first thing is the whole attitude towards getting stuff done. All right, now, I realize that a lot of us wake up in the morning, we think about all that we have to do, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's this gray cloud above our heads. So the first thing we have to do is have to understand, if we have a gray cloud above our heads, that's no sunshine in our lives, no. That's not the way we should live. That's no way to live. So the first thing is to be very aware of how are you viewing your workload. Hey, Hint, how are you? How are you viewing your workload? If it's this gray cloud and if you hear Jaws music playing in the background, which is what I used to hear, there's something wrong. Hey, Troy. Hey, Mubashar. There's something wrong. You can't live like that. And I became aware at one point. I thought, oh my gosh, when I'm thinking of all this stuff I need to do, it's like Jaws music is playing in the background. That is no way. Zita, how are you? Margaret, how are you? It's no way to live. You have to understand how you're viewing your workload. And even the workload is not a good attitude. So become aware that either you're a visual person like me and you're going to see this gray cloud, not a good way to live. Hey, Sirachant, not a good way to live at all. So start being aware of how you see your work. I won't say load because I hate the word workload, like a burden. Okay, we should try to develop an attitude towards our work. Hey Margaret, how are you? That is pleasurable in some way, and if it's not, we've got to find a way to make it look that way. So, first of all, if you have this gray cloud over you and you're thinking about your work, figure out how can you make this less of a burden. Now, my big one is that hey, Sirachand. My big one is that if it's that burdensome, something needs to change. You need to get help somehow. Now, I know when I look at my work and it's a burden, it's usually tech. It's usually there's a tech thing I need to do, and I am not the tech queen. No, I'm not, okay, at all. And I realized I needed to get help with those things, and when I got help with the tech, that cloud lifted and I could look at what I was really good at. So really make a list of everything that you really are good at. And then there's a list of stuff you're really not good at. And then there's a middle list of stuff you got to do anyway. Okay, so it's like a middle list. There's one, what you really love doing, really great. Middle list where you still got to kind of do it. And then the stuff you really don't like doing and you're not good at. Try to delegate those out. Okay, so that's the thing. Now, so the first thing is to get rid of the feeling of dread around any of your work. Now, no, I'm not saying that every single thing you do has to be a party. Yes, get help. There are certain things that you will need to do which you don't want to do, and you're going to have to just do it. But I think that everything shouldn't be a burden. I do things that pretty much I like everything, but some things I've got to figure out and I'm not loving it, but I know it's just got to get over that hump. And I know that nobody else can do it because I need to do it. So figure out what you absolutely need to do and swallow the frog. You know, that's the Steve Covey. You get up in the morning and the hardest thing, you just do it. And then your whole day is just not one of dread because you're putting off that thing. Hey, Debbie, you're not putting off that thing that you don't want to do it. Do it at the morning. Your day will be beautiful from then on. Okay, so that's the first thing, is farm out what you absolutely are not good at and which is going to waste a lot of time. Then you've got the straight stuff you're really good at. The middle stuff, the neutral stuff that you might not love, you got to do it anyway because you are the one that's going to have to do it. Certain things we can't farm out. Yes, I know you do. Debbie is the tech queen. I am not. So that's the first thing, is if you're feeling that you're or sometimes people are word-based and they'll see a lot of words and confusion in their head about their work. That's no way to live. So fix that. Fix that. And do 3 lists. Love, what you're really not good at and is causing that, you got to try to farm that part out. And then the middle stuff, which you might not love, but you're going to do anyway. Yes, Sarah Chan says, swallow the frog. Great analogy, especially if you have a frog in your throat. Yes, there's also pulling the weeds, we say. All right, so that's the first backdrop of productivity, which you didn't expect. You thought I was going to say, just do it. Well, part of it is just do it, because I'm not saying that everything that you don't want to do, don't do it, because that's not life, is it, folks? You knew I was not going to tell you that because that's just not my style. Okay, now we're going to move on to balance. Somebody was asking about balance, and I'm going to address this. Okay, it is not important that you get everything on your to-do list done every day, because there is no, there's no reward because you wrote a bunch of stuff down and you're going to get through them all. And what I figured out is those people that go through their whole task list and they're leaving the hardest stuff to the end, guess what? The next day, they're moving the hard stuff and then they're writing a bunch of little things that are easy to do. Okay, who's doing this? And they never get to the meat. They never get to the stuff that's really going to move their business forward. So you're going through all this stuff and you feel great because there's an adrenaline kick. Every time you check something off they've proven, you get some sort of hormone. There's some hormonal kick that you get by ding, I got it. That's why we write stuff down and put the check, because we feel great. It's awesome. Why not? But if you are doing the easy stuff and it's filling in your day, and then the hard stuff that's going to move your business forward is being moved every day, and you keep going around and around and around the matter at hand, you are never going to get anywhere. And that is not productivity. That's just getting a lot of stuff done. It's a very big difference between getting a lot of stuff done and being truly productive. Now, what's the difference? For a business person, for you to be truly productive, you have to always be thinking, what are the business building activities that I'm doing? Now, if you're not doing a lot of business building activities and it's just a bunch of tasks and minutia, then that will never drive you forward. And I know it's hard for you because it was hard for me. Hi, Pyle. You need to let go of stuff that makes you feel good because you're getting a task done, okay? You've got to say, wait a minute, I'm going to swallow the frog or pull the weeds. I'm going to do the hardest thing first. And if it's going to be broken down, I'll break it down into 3 parts, but I will only do what is really hard today. And all those little tasks, I'm going to move the little tasks. See, we people move the big tasks, and they do all the little tasks because it feels good to get something done, and it is a sense of gratification, instant gratification. Now, we've also proven with emotional intelligence, the people that can, forego the instant gratification for longer are the highly emotionally intelligent people. Now, I'm not saying that all really successful business people are highly emotionally intelligent because we all know that's not true. But I am saying that if you are not going to tackle those scary, big things every day, that is what moves your business forward. That's productivity. So quite frankly, I got to a point of peace. Hey, Petroni, ça va? I'm at a point of peace that I might have a ton of stuff on my to-do list, and I'm like, doesn't matter because I know that I analyzed already the business building activity, and I tackled that first, and I just let go in my mind of everything that I didn't get done because we can't do everything every day. That's just life. So you have to develop this letting go attitude of the don't sweat the small stuff, okay? Because what we're doing is we are attached to all these little things But you have to analyze what is moving my business forward every day. And people say, why aren't you doing this? And I always say, because it's not moving my business forward. Why don't you do that? I said, because I could be doing a billion things. You know it, I know it. Hey, Pedro. What we also know, hi, Anka, is when you don't focus on the matter at hand, the big whale, okay, and you don't dissect that whale and say, I'm going to really work on the things that, hey, Abby, that are moving my business forward. I know when I'm moving my business forward, I know all those little things don't matter. And the other funny thing is, sometimes you have a bunch of tasks and then you focus on the ones that matter, and all those tasks don't matter. Sometimes you don't even need to do them because the strategy, hi Anka, it actually just sort of deletes all those little things you were going to do. And I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I didn't waste time on that. So it's being strategic with your time. You only have a certain amount. So if you're going to fritter away all day on little minutia and tasks because you feel good about it, and because you're fearful about handling the scary tasks, you will not move forward. Sarah Chan says, I'm going to work on the things that are yes, absolutely. Now, there are some little things we have to do. I analyze that as well. I'm going to have to send this contract. But it's important. Those things need to be done, and it is moving my business forward because I'm taking care of business. But I don't sit there and fill my calendar with just things. As a result, I kind of take action and drag things behind me. It works. And I'm at peace with the chaos. Okay, now here's a little trick for you. A little bit of insight. The people that are the most successful are those that can sustain the most amount of chaos and deal with it. Those people that everything has to be so orderly, every single second, they're trying to control every single outcome. That's not life. So you've got to be messy. You know, the most successful people take massive, messy, scrappy action. All of those really successful people are taking scrappy action. Now my battery is running a bit low, so I'm going to have to plug that in. So I'm going to move this and I'm going to plug it in. Sorry folks, you know how I am, a bit of a bumbler. 1 second. Okay, I'm probably the only person that disappears on lives, but you're used to me by now. So sorry, I'm going to plug it in. I had to unplug one of my lights. All good. Okay, we're cooking with gas now. All right, where was I? So you've got to analyze, now we're a bit dark. We're going to analyze what you're doing every day, and you're going to ask yourself, is that the highest impact action? And that's something that I've always coached people on. What's your highest impact action? So if you have 6 actions, Morris, you know it. Okay, so if you have 6 actions, you analyze. You say, okay, I've got 6 things to do. I cannot do them all today. Now that's another thing. You are going to demoralize yourself, and if you're not realistic about how much time things are going to take. So you have 6 things. You're going to say, okay, nope, not moving business forward. Nope, that's just a vanity thing. Buying a new chair, a vanity thing. Getting this, vanity. Getting new branding when I don't need it right now, maybe is a vanity thing, but it feels good. Just really always ask yourself, highest impact action. And now I have a reflex. I literally go, highest impact action. No, this is the one. And it's a practice that you get better and better and better at as you go. Now, Abby says, there's some questions here. Ryan, hi. Yep, okay, so Abby says, yes, I'm great at working through the chaos. Great, Abby, I know that, all right? And Abby says, highest, got it. And yes, okay. Now, again, I will repeat that. Saeed just turned up. I repeat, the people that are most successful are the ones that are at peace, that there is chaos because there is chaos in life, and you're not trying to control, that you're floating through the chaos and things are happening and something's not perfect, but you're going to move on anyway, and then there's another imperfect action, and you're going to, take flight, and then you're going to course correct because it's not quite right. All of that creates success. Hey, Linda. All right. No, actually, highest impact action. I've been teaching people that for 9 years, online, offline, executives. Highest impact action, what is it? Because you will be faced with choices. You're faced with choices. You make thousands of choices every single day. Every single day. Be conscious about those choices. Am I going to sit here and write an ebook that is not going to push my business forward, but I heard somewhere you have to write an ebook? Everything you do should fit into a larger plan. A larger plan. Okay. Hey, NG's here. Now, the next thing is the point is to get to your goal. The point is not to do a lot of stuff, okay? So how do you make more money? Well, highest impact action for the business building activity, okay? Now, once I figured this out, I am ruthless with this. Nope, is that gonna serve me? No, it's fun, but I'm not gonna do that today because it's fun. I'm gonna do what's gonna push me forward, even if it's not the most fun task. Even if it's just like, you know, hours and hours and hours of reaching out to people, I will do it. All right, now I'm going to give you, if you have any questions, just ask. I'm going to give you actual productivity hacks that I have developed. And actually, I had a whole productivity online course, which I'm actually thinking of repackaging and selling because it was pretty good. All right, now the first thing is, I'm going to tell you the one thing, I used to procrastinate a lot. I don't do that anymore. Okay, Jesse says, how do you decide what is truly your highest impact action for your business? Well, what you do is you work out what's going to bring the most money in, okay? Because you're a business. So people don't think that way. And the fact is, a business is supposed to think about making money. Yes, we all have big impact, but it is a charity if you're not making money. And that is the main function of a business that is a not-for-profit, okay? And even not-for-profits, the funny thing is, they make a lot of money. That's a whole thing now. All right, so you say to yourself, I'm going to analyze what I'm doing and what is going to bring in the most revenue and profits, because profits are important too. You know the difference between revenue and profits. I might go into another live about that another day. Okay, so you look at it and you say, now I'm doing this action and it's bringing in X amount of money, but then I have this project and it's going to bring in X amount. Well, you're going to go for the one that's going to bring in the most money. But of course, you have to think about what you enjoy doing. So that's that as well. So it's a balance, and you have to look at what you want. Okay, now obviously I'm not going to do something that's going to bring a lot of money in if I really can't stand doing it, because then your life is hell. Okay, so there's a balance to be had. All right, now the one thing is, okay, the first one is business building activities. Must focus on that. Highest impact action. Must focus on that. Now the next one is time blocking. Now time blocking has saved my life, because what we understand about life, it's mathematical. Everything in life is mathematics. Music is mathematics. Everything is mathematics. So you realize that a day, a week, a month, a year, you can't stretch that. It's always going to be the same amount of time. Your perception of it will be different, especially as you get older, because my weeks are flying past now like they never used to. But you have to understand, you have to block time in compartments. Now, I'm a very good compartment blocker. I block my days into 2 days. I actually have my first day, and then at 12 p.m., my second day starts. So I have 2 days every day. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? No, I get more done because I don't just let the day dribble along. I got my first day, and then I got my second day. Maurice says, if it's not making you money and you don't like it, let others do it for you. Yeah, well, if it's not making money, why are you doing it at all? That's my question. I see a lot of people doing a lot of things because somebody told them to. Okay, so why? This is the problem, the shiny object. I do very little in my business. My business is so simple. And I think some of you know that I had my highest grossing month this month. People cannot believe how little I do. But what I do is I do a lot of a few things because I'm very focused on a few things that work. Okay, hearts would be great. Hashtag live would be great. Oh, by the way, if anybody ever wants to get on a call with me, do hashtag talk or hashtag I need to speak with you right now, woman. Okay. So that's the first thing, is time blocking. I do this with 90 days. I do this with breaking it down to 60 to 30, and then I break down into weeks, and I break it down into days, and then half days, and hours, and sometimes minutes, as in 15-minute blocks. All right. You might think that's a hard way to live, but it's not. You just start getting into it. And do I relax sometimes? Of course. I don't time block my weekends at all, because you can't live that way. Now, so that's the first one, time blocking. The other thing is, when you give a task a lot of time, like I used to do this is me. This is Jeanne, the ex-procrastinator, because I was that person. I would take a day to do something. I can't do something unless I have at least 4 hours blocked. It was like that scarcity of time, and I'm not going to get it done. And people be like, wow, why do you block so much time? That was the old me, okay? And then I realized, wow, I'm wasting so much time. I used to take so long to write things, so long, but then I started having to spit out more content, and I was creating that productivity course, and I just thought, I need to get this done. So you know what I did? Just a minute. I started using a timer. Okay, now this is my best productivity hack ever. You set the timer for 15 minutes and you write down what you want to achieve. Okay, so mine was, I was really slow at writing. Really slow. So I was writing presentations and it used to take me forever because it wasn't perfect, and I thought, I've got to create so much content for this program the productivity program, believe it or not. You write down what you're doing, you set the timer for 15 minutes, and if thoughts come into your head, and they will, because your saboteur, which is your brain, is going to come and say, no, you don't need to do that. So you just write the thoughts down to get them out. Guess what? When you're done with the 15 minutes, you look at what you were writing, it was just noise. Okay, now you've done 15 minutes and you're in there, you got your foot in the door, you started. You set it again. All right, and you keep, and you make a little circle or a tomato, like a pomodoro, because these used to be tomatoes. And you keep going. And guess what? What I realized, and then I'd look at it and I'd do the units. Often, I had written for an hour and a half and it felt like a minute because I kept setting it. I wrote a whole presentation in an hour 15, which would have taken me in the old days, I don't know. I mean, I would have spent 2 days on that, and I just got through it. So that's how you do it, is you just take that step, you set the timer, and once you set the timer, it is non-negotiable. You can't go do stuff. No, you're agreeing with yourself. As soon as that timer is set, you're going to just do it. Now, this is a really good thing for writing, because I know we all procrastinate. We're looking at the blank page. It's like, how do I start? Non-negotiable. This has changed my life. And when I start to feel like, oh, I don't want to do something, I pick my timer up and I set it, and I don't even think. I don't analyze it, because then I can start analyzing it forever. Okay, so who's loving that? Hint says, great and simple idea, love it. Hint, it'll change your life because I know you. All right, so that's the second one. Now, that's it. Those are my two, is the time blocking. It's business building, a lot of things. Business building activities, highest impact action, three columns, really love doing it, can't stand doing it, maybe get help with that. And then the middle, you're going to do it anyway. Hey, Josh, you're going to do it anyway. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Luke. Hey, Luke, your cousin was on the line a minute ago. Jeannie, Luke, speak to each other. Okay, so that's kind of it. Now, somebody probably has questions. I'm here, and I'm going to answer any questions you like, except for my shoe size. That's my joke. Anything but my shoe size. Okay, I'll review that while you are going to ask a question. First thing, regard how you're looking at your work. If it's this dark cloud and there's Jaws music playing in the background, I wouldn't want to get up in the morning. I remember I used to wake up and think, oh, I have so much to do and I hate it. So I had to change my whole mindset, because I don't want to live like that. You want to make your life beautiful every day, and you don't want to get through the work. You want to do the work and enjoy it sometimes, right? And also, it's really good to just, make a note and click it off, tick it off. There's a lot of happiness in that. All right. That's the first thing. Start analyzing what you're doing. All right. Second thing, eat the frog. First thing, you work on the business building hardest thing first, even if you're breaking it down. Somebody's got questions. What are they? Let me see. We've got NG. I know you are talking about business, but these pointers are great even. Yes, they are great for your personal lives, because managing children, managing a household, really, because you know what happens, the time just goes through and you're not getting stuff done, and then you feel depressed because, that sort of like heavy thing. There's big happiness in getting a lot done in no time, because you feel free. Structure frees you. That's the big thing. A grid, which is what I've created for myself, is a grid of numbers, really does set you free. Now, my dad was a mathematician, so maybe it's somewhere in my blood, but I just love the numbers. I used to be more flaky, and I've turned into this numbers person. But don't get me wrong, I'm messy, I'm not that organized sometimes. Weekends I don't plan anything, I just make sure I get certain stuff done, okay? And then, I give it a break every now and then, because you can't live like that every second. You gotta try to be productive, but you can't live like that every second. Okay, now, hi, Jamie. Oh, Anna's saying hi to Jamie. Jamie, hi from Anna. Okay, hint. How much time do you spend per day for convos and for strategy sessions? Well, hint. A lot. Less now, because when you're doing my strategies, you have to be a beast. But the more you do, you create a forest fire of organic influence online, and you get a lot of people. I get a lot of people reaching out to me. They know who I am, reaching out. I get so much inbound now. Sometimes I have my inbox is just full of inbound. I have to go, and it's great. It's not a problem. I hate that word. Great problem to have. It's not a problem at all. It is a great situation to be in. So at first, yes, I hit it hard. I mean, I was marketing outbound. I will sit there for hours just grit, just, volume. And that's the other thing about life. The more volume you put in, it's just the law of numbers. The more volume, and then the more volume doing it right, because sometimes you could have volume and it might not be keyed in yet. Still great to have a lot of volume, because you're going to figure it out, and then you'll have volume with keyed in. Then it's all working together like clockwork. The hearts are lovely. Thank you. Hashtag live would be great too. Now, if you want to speak to me, hashtag talk. Hashtag I need this woman right now. All right. So, sorry, guys, I'm joking. Do you get on FB or LinkedIn during your blocks? During my blocks. Blocks of what, Sirichand? I get on both. I work on both now. And I'm a strategist for Facebook and LinkedIn, and I do both every day. Okay, but you do have to block it. You have to block it. Even if it's mini blocks, it could be 20 minutes on this, 30 on that. Now, my days are not all the same. I structure them very differently. And that's the good thing. You don't have to do the same thing every day. If you're first starting, but my days are very varied, and you have to be willing to dance with time. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I just thought of something. Dance with time. You got to be willing to dance with time. That's all. Okay, great. And sometimes the dance is a very formal dance, and sometimes it's a little lyrical. Alrighty, I'm a poet and I don't even know it. This is awesome stuff. Zita, I love you. Zita is a highly, highly skilled and successful person who I very much admire. Okay, now, Gregory, hey guy, thanks for joining. Hey, Anna Blake, I love that you guys, oh my gosh, I love that you guys are talking to each other and saying hello, because you know something about me? I've always been a very community-minded person. I love people, and at parties I used to pull people over and say, hey, you got to meet them. That's kind of my thing, making people welcome. Anna Blake, how are you? So Cynthia says, how do you deal with the issue of going over the time allotted for a particular task? Well, it's life, okay? I was going to say, actually, when you allot a lot of time for something, you will fill it up. There's actually a law, some sort of psychological law. I can't remember what it was, because I'm bad at that, but I'll look it up. When you allot 2 hours for a task, you're going to fill that box of 2 hours. So the real trick is to allot less, not a lot less, to allot less time than you think it's going to be. So I'm not going to now add 4. I'm going to be like, you know what? That's going to be done in an hour. And I really try. And then guess what? It goes over an hour. All good. All good. I'll continue to get that important job done. But you're going to make the blocks smaller because it fills it out no matter what. Law of the universe. Now let's see. Somebody has some questions. Thanks for the lives. Thanks for the hearts. Moving up. Gregory. Bayana, Eric, Liliana. Oh, great. Welcome, all you people. Zita, I love the blue heart. Hint, live, thank you. I needed, yes, Anna, a regroup. Okay, we so often find ourselves going after so many shiny objects. And if you sit down and say to yourself, how much do I really need that ebook? Okay, or how much did I really need to reorganize everything so it's so organized? Look, I'm all for organization, kind of, but you don't have to have every single thing completely organized at every single moment of the day. Those people that spend all their days organizing and using so many apps, that's the other thing. People use so many apps that are supposed to make their life more productive. I realized you're better off figuring out fewer apps, because at some point the apps are running your life and you're spending a day running the apps that are supposed to make you more productive, which I find quite ironic. Okay, I found the irony in that a few years ago, so I try to use as few apps as possible, and I try to be as lean and mean with what I'm doing, lean and mean, and try to just focus on a few things at a time. And those who know me know that I am never going to say to somebody, yeah, just get on every single network immediately. No, I'm going to be one platform, you deepen it, you be a beast, you get enormous traction, then it's the plates in the air, one spinning, then you slowly get the other one while the first plate is still spinning. Did you know it is humanly impossible to get 2 plates in the air at the same time? Your brain can't do it. You cannot do it. So why are you trying? You can't do it. It's a physical impossibility. Alrighty. Kala, how are you? Coming back to the highest impact action. Yes. Anna, thanks for the reminder. Petra is watching. Nature report. Yes, nature does abhor a vacuum, and so do I. I don't like vacuuming. I'm just kidding. But, okay, Priyanka, how are you? Andrew, how are you? And we got Rajiv, Gregory, inviting a lot of people. Do you block reserved time for tasks? Yes, I do. I look at what tasks I have. It's all good. You're better off undershooting and then stretching it a little. So if I say that's going to take an hour, And then, well, I have something booked after, I'll have to move that to another time to finish it. And there's nothing wrong with breaking things down. If you have a big task like my tax returns, I don't do that all at once. I first do the receipts, and then I do this, and I break it down so that I'm feeling good about it, that I'm not all at once. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? I have an accountant, but you know you have to get your receipts. That's the one thing I really don't like doing, and I have to do it. All right, so you book an hour, you probably will get it done. It goes a bit over, all good. You did it in less time than 4 hours because you squinched it into a smaller box. That's the trick. All right, we have some more questions. I love this. Let's see. True life, keep it simple. Yes, Julia. Margaret says, Parkinson's Law. That's it. Thank you, Margaret. I love you. I was trying to remember that. Is the adage that work expands to fill the time. Thank you. You came up with that. I was going to go look that up again. Okay, it's Parkinson's Law. There's a space. You're going to fill it no matter what. So make the space smaller. And then if you have to overflow, that's great. You know, love overfloweth. Life overfloweth. It's a good thing. Okay, so Andrew says, I love Andrew's long questions. What are your thoughts of using an ebook for a lead generator and also to add as a complimentary add-on to one's packages? And same question about writing an award-winning book. Okay, you might not agree with this, but we don't need ebooks, folks. Nobody really reads ebooks anymore. So those are like 10 years old. Yes, lead mags, which are sort of like an ebook, but I sort of see it as a PDF. So those are great as a lead mag. I highly recommend it. Writing a book, not a good idea unless you already have some traction, because you want to have traction. Now what people do is the wrong thing. You don't write the book and then you market it. You become something. You're writing the book while, you're also becoming something. Getting better well known. Oh my gosh. Getting better known. Okay, creating a forest fire of influence and getting out there and speaking more and all sorts of stuff. And then you write the book, but you're planning your marketing while the book is written. Because the fact is this, if you publish the book and you're not ready to market it, you have missed an enormous opportunity, and you don't want to do that. People are doing things the wrong way because it's fun to write an ebook and it's fun to write a book. I haven't written a book for that reason. I want to make sure that my book has something to say, and that I've already done the marketing beforehand. I'm going to be doing a bunch of marketing for a year before. A year. Yes? A year. So I'm going to be writing it while I'm marketing. It's being marketed before I finished it. That's the trick. I would suggest you just reach out and do your hands-on marketing, guerrilla marketing, and getting clients. That's what works. We've proven it over and over. My clients are proving that, and I'm proving it over and over and over again. Thank you for the hearts. If you want to talk to me, #talk. Okay. Haha, I don't like vacuuming either. Well, actually, I prefer it to washing bathrooms. Okay, so look at your vacuum joke. Okay. Debbie Peck says, I recently put 6K qualified people on a client's list using an ebook lead magnet. So I'd say it's a pretty great idea. They're great. You could use an ebook. I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be an ebook. Like I guess it looks like an ebook. It's just a PDF. So it's just some pages. I guess you could call it an ebook. I just find the term ebook kind of old. Yes, lead mags are very important. Debbie, I'm going to honor that. Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, if you're just doing an ebook and then thinking, what do I do with the ebook? There's so many other things that you should be doing before the ebook. But definitely you do need a lead mag. I have one lead mag only. No, I have others because I give bits and pieces away. But I only really made one formal. It's Diamond Client Acquisition Roadmap. If anybody wants it, by the way, do #roadmap. I'll get it to you. It's kind of an ebook. Debbie, I'll send it to you. Okay, it's pretty. But yeah, good. But my problem is when people ask me questions and they think that's it, the end all and be all. And there's other things you should be doing before spending, because I know what happens. They spend months on the ebook, and that's my fear for people, is they're doing too much. That is not the matter at hand and is not the highest impact action. So, Debbie, absolutely, but I maybe ask your client, where are they? Maybe they've already done other stuff. So it's just the situation. Debbie's very good at tech and funnels and all sorts of stuff and landing pages. If you want a funnel, a landing page, or anything, Debbie has 20 years experience. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you said 20. Doug, how are you? All right, we have other questions. So remember, everything I say is my point of view. I could be wrong. People are wrong. It's just what works for me and my clients out of my experiences. Okay, great. Uncle James here. Aw, it's Gregory's uncle. Any friend or uncle of a friend or of Gregory is a friend of mine. Okay, Margaret, I'm going to send that to you. Roadmap, sending it to you. What ideas of lead mags would you recommend? This is hint. Well, I just told you one. My Diamond Client Roadmap. Okay, Diamond Client Acquisition. So I'm telling people the roadmap of how to get what I call diamond clients. You know, I branded that. Diamond clients are those clients that don't nickel and dime you, that you love, that do the work, that are pleasant to work with, that are, well, my diamond client is, you know, a visionary or a trailblazer or somebody that cares about other people, and they're going to do the work, and they're going to be really pleasant to work with. They don't have to say thank you every single day to Jeanne Omlor, but it'd be great if they just did the work and, you know, got results. So I'm showing people, hey, Petra, it's yours. Abby, it's yours. Andrew, it's yours. I'm just showing people, you know, the way to the diamond clients in droves. So I wrote, I guess it's an ebook. I just call it a lead mag. We don't really call it, I guess the ebook thing, it's so old, it just, a lead mag. Very good, Andrew, but you have other things to do, Andrew. You know it, I know it. Like organic reach out is the most important thing to do, because you could run your whole business with no lead mag for a while, like I did. I was up to 30K a month, and I had no lead mag. I was just creating at that point. So, not that it's a bad idea. So, we have Debbie. I agree. Lead magnets are part of a bigger strategy. I took an existing blog post of the client and turned it into a lead. There you go. You see? She took something that was already working and made it a lead. Thank you for clarifying. That is a very smart thing to do. And by the way, you can take a blog post and make a Facebook ad out of it, because if it's a blog post that really worked, then you know people resonate. That's a good way of doing beginning ads. Okay, what did she say? She's now crushing it through the pandemic with tons of clients while other people in her industry are shut down. What industry is that? I'm very curious. Okay, Margaret says, that's awesome, Debbie. Yes, it is. What makes an effective lead mag? Jesse, what makes an effective lead mag, I'm just going to be super transparent, is you're showing them the what and the not how. So you're telling them exactly what they need to do, but you don't go too into the weeds, because if you do that in a lead mag, you are not giving them the full Monty. So you're not actually helping them, and they think they have the whole answer. So it's like a bad Band-Aid that's going to peel off. So people sometimes think, I'm just going to give them so much information, but you're actually not helping, because you're giving them a little bit of knowledge. What you're doing in the lead mag is showing them the way. You know, to do this, you're going to have to do this, the what, this, and this. But you're not going to tell them how to do it, because you can't tell somebody, you can't coach somebody in a lead mag to tell them how to do all that. It won't work. So you're not serving them, because they're not getting the full service. Like for me, I can't tell somebody in a 4-page lead mag how to get to 30, 40, 50K a month, or 20, or whatever, or higher. I can't do that. So you're showing them the way, you're letting them know that you know what you're doing, and you're opening the gates to them working with you. Like you have a call to action, book a call. Highly transparent here. I do that because I'm showing them I know how to do this. Okay, these are the ways, but you're going to need my help. You are, folks. But then book a call, and I'll get really clear on how to get you there, because I think you all know I work with many different businesses, and I strategize for each of them, and I'm pretty good at that. It's not like a one-size-fits-all. I never believed that. Okay, so she's an, oh, got it. Okay, so Kate Jones, how are you? Alrighty, so Jessie says, how do you take a great blog post and make it into an ad or link? Well, what you do is you get the wording from the blog post, and you take those words and incorporate that into your ad. Okay, it won't be the exact lead mag, because, well, I mean, the ad's going to have some call to action, so you're going to model that. But you're going to know that this post or something on your Facebook even, people, you got a lot of comments and a lot of loves, you know that's going to work for an ad. That's the good thing. So you're going to take that, and you're just going to put it in a format, okay, that looks like a lead mag with, you know, I usually put some visuals, but I'll show you mine, Jesse. Just ask. I think you did. I'll send that to you. So lead magnets are the appetizers. Yes, and lead mags are highly valuable. We've been using lead mags on websites. I mean, I had a lead mag, which was a whole it was a 5-part way of how to build your business. It was really good. And it was kind of like an ebook, but this was 9 years ago. And that was like people would click on that and they'd get onto my mailing list. And I don't have that on my website anymore because I feel like, I don't know, it's sort of old-fashioned to do that now. Okay, and there's so much, I mean, I have so many lives now and so many Facebook posts, and there's just so much that people can absorb of mine. And I do have a blog on my website that's being reconstructed right now. I only have, my website guy only put 2 testimonials on for my last website. I'm like, could you just put them all on? But we're gonna keep making the blog. There's a lot of, I like giving information. Okay, so we have another question. So much useful info. And thank you, Cynthia. Gregory, what is generally the most important thing we can do to move the needle the most in a day or week's time? Whoa, that's a lot of questions. Is to be, what I said at the beginning, to be very mindful of not doing things that don't move the needle forward. You know what I'm saying, Gregory? So if you're like, oh, I'm going to do this, if it's fun and you just want to be, okay, this is what people do. They get pulled away because it's fun and the shiny object, and then they're doing it, and then they realize, well, that didn't do anything for my business. It was fun. And you'll be in the middle of something and you'll get distracted. So you've got to really control your mind. And I do that. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? It was fun. You start reading something, nope, it's fun. So I turn everything off sometimes. I turn off Facebook and I go, okay, non-Facebook time, non-everything. And I'm going to do this. I'm not going to be distracted. A good idea to turn everything off during the day so you're not, a person that is continually interrupted, which we are on social media, has to sometimes, maybe when you're writing your copy or something, turn everything off, all right? When I was writing a lot of Facebook posts, I would just turn everything off and I would block that. And I would write a lot of posts because I just block the time. Okay, so we have growth in discomfort. Yes, okay. There's no way anybody is going to grow by being comfortable every single moment of their lives. Babies don't grow. People don't grow. There's growing pains. We cannot strive to have, lack of pain all the time. But on the other hand, if you are dreading your work when you wake up in the morning, that's just not normal. That's not a good way to live. So analyze. If you got the dark cloud when you wake up and you're thinking of everything you need to do, or the Jaws music, or, monkey mind, just say, wait a minute, how can I make my life more pleasant? Because let's face it, most of our lives we spend working. Most of us have the most hours usually are working. That's ruining your life. Take your life back, making it a bit pleasant. But there's a balance with it all, not all or nothing. Take your life back, do what you need to do, be gritty, but it shouldn't all be this onerous task. Okay, is that a word, onerous? I think it is. Okay. Lead magnets, Cynthia says, lead magnets show the what, but can't show the how. Include, yes, exactly. You're a smart person. So yes, you're saying, here's the roadmap. This is what you do. But you're not telling them the ins and outs of how, because you can't. It would be a book then, and you can't possibly do that. And why would you? Because they're not coaching with you, and people can't learn something just by reading it. I don't believe, if you're a coach, a lot of it is back and forth and inspiration and training. Well, I'm more than a coach. I wouldn't call myself a coach in a way because I train people. I'm a trainer and consultant and a coach. Okay, there's a whole thing that coaches can only ask questions, so therefore I'm not a coach. All right, now, Zita says, hey, beautiful, have to dash. Thanks for stopping in. We'll check back on the replay. Awesome, thank you. Zita. Pyle says, do what you love and love what you do. Yes, but you also have to push through for certain things that you have resistance for that are maybe not the most pleasant, that will develop you, that are business building activities. So it's not black and white. It is sfumato. That is an Italian word. Sfumato is something that is gray and smoky. It's the area between the black and the white. And the person that used to talk about sfumato was Leonardo da Vinci. That was his whole thing. Things are not black and white. So this is, again, not black and white. I don't like it. I don't do it. I do like it. It's really, you can't stand it. It's ruining your life. Farm it out. It's going to develop you, but you don't love it. Do it. Okay? So, agree. Okay. So, does anybody have any more questions? I'm here. Any questions on anything? Was this helpful? If so, bunch of hearts. Hashtag live. Let's bring some more people in. And if you want to talk to me, hashtag talk. If you want my lead mag, which is the Diamond Client Acquisition Roadmap, put hashtag roadmap. Okay. Thanks, Pyle, for the hearts. Does anybody, there's always a lag here, does anybody have any questions at all? I'm going to wait a couple minutes. This went quick. There was a lot in there, right, folks? What was something that was helpful? Thank you, Maurice. What was something that I said? Thank you for the hearts. Hearts and hashtag live. What was helpful that you're going to take away today and actually use? Because, you know, I don't do these lives just to talk. I do them because I'm hoping that people will get something from them that will change their lives. Whether you're working with me or not, I'm hoping there's a nugget that you're going to take away and it's going to change something for you. Maurice says, do you have a favorite book you want to... Yep. Psycho-Cybernetics. All right? One of my favorite books, Psycho-Cybernetics. And actually, it's required reading in my program. I just haven't told you that yet. Maurice? Okay, so great. By the way, Psycho-Cybernetics has a very, very firm part in my heart because it was the first self-progress, I'd say, a development book I ever read in my entire life. I found it on my father's, in his library. And I read it when I was 16, 17. It changed my life. So, time blocking, use a timer. Good. Roadmap. Yep, it's on the way. Timer. Yep. Spending time. Yep. Good. Jesse, spend time on the highest. Yes. See, that cuts through all the noise, Jesse. All these things. Wait a minute. The core of it is, how am I going to bring those clients in? Maybe don't do those fluffy little things that maybe you don't need to do, like redo your branding 5 times. It's all good, right? Abby says, so good, Jeanne. I love the concept of having two. Yes. Yes, I'm not the only one that does that, by the way. Highly successful people do that. Even more successful than me. It's really good because you now have 2 containers and an evening. 2 containers, so it's a 3-part day. Day 1, day 2, evening. Okay. All right, so Maurice says, haha, okay. Pedro has a question. I'm sure your coaching will help me know what activity of the whole organic strategy will make me more money. So I put all my energy and attention. Absolutely. You know it. You know it. Okay, I will divulge that because Pedro is a new client. And welcome on board, Pedro. Love the 2 days. Absolutely. It is so effective. Margaret is going to change your life because what happens is people start the day and they start to blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean by that? It's like, they lose steam. But if you re-energize and you say, I'm starting my day again, it gives you a new energy because you are starting a new day, 2 mini days. Literally, I draw a line in my 90-day planner and I get a ruler and I write first day, second day. And you start doing that. It's strange at first, but then you get used to it and you just start to think, you know, like anything, it's integrated. First day, second day. Anything from 12 p.m. onwards, my second day. Okay. Gregory inviting a bunch of people. Yes, watch the replay. And hashtag replay if you watch it. Okay, if anybody wants to talk to me to figure out how they could get to 20K plus months online organically without ad spend. Not that I'm against ads. I'm not against them. But there's so much to do before ads and so much money to be made before ads and validating your offer and serving people without doing the whole funnel thing yet. Okay, great session. Margaret, thank you. Margaret's from Boston, but in Rhode Island. I remembered that right. Okay, /tag talk. Okay, now, all right. So, who has questions? Pedro says, 2 days and 1 day is a new one. Well, you're going to get a lot of new ones from me, Pedro, from me. I have to say hello twice a day. Your fault. Okay, well actually it's really nice. You know what I do with my daughters? When we have some sort of altercation, just putting it nicely, I'll say, okay, let's start the day over. So we have this thing, let's start the day over. Because you know you don't want to drag that emotion from altercations. So they say, Mama, can we just start the day over? Absolutely, start the day over. You just leave the old, whatever it was, of emotions in the old day and you start the day over. Because what happens, this is in a personal level, when you say, oh, I had a terrible day, I'm like, no, you didn't. You had part of your day, but you just wrote that whole day off because something bad happened. So now I block also things that happen. Like if I have a frustrating thing that happens in my day, like having to be on the phone with a phone company or something like that, you know, when you're on hold like forever. I don't say, oh my gosh, I had such a bad day, because I didn't, because some great thing was always going to be happening in a day. I say to myself, no, I had an hour in that day when I did that, which wasn't great, but before and after was great. So I actually had a pretty good day. See? You're reframing, literally reframing your time. Okay, so NG says, this was awesome. Lots of ideas that would definitely help me personally. I'm like, great, I'm glad. You can always watch it again, NG. The replay is always going to be there for you. Haha, I agree. Altercation, yep. That's a nice way of putting it, right? Especially when you got a teenager in the house now. Okay, Abby says, aw, yes, a great lesson for the kids too. Yes, it is a great lesson. You know, it's a lesson in regeneration and turning a new leaf over in the moment. You know, they say we're going to turn a new leaf over. In the moment you're turning a new leaf over. Like, let's just get past all that. Let's heal that for the moment. Let's just start the day over afresh. And sometimes when it was in the morning, we'd all go back to bed, like for a minute, and get up and say, oh, hi, good morning. And they would laugh at me because I would do that because I'm a little bit of a crazy mom. But they'd look at me like, okay. I said, we're starting the day over, so let's go to bed. Good morning. And we pretend we didn't have that altercation. Okay, so definitely coming back to watch this. Okay, hashtag replay when you come back. Okay, who liked this? Who has some questions about this? What was the most valuable takeaway? Takeout. No, not takeout. Takeaway. Yes, that's right. I mixed takeout with takeaway because in Australia, when you're taking out food, it's called takeaway. And my daughter was like, you mean takeout? I said, no, I mean takeaway. They give takeaway. She goes, Mama, it's takeout. Okay, now, Angie, definitely, okay, crazy moms are the best. Yep. Okay, so, David, welcome to. Time for the time block called sleep. Oh, Maurice, he's in Europe, so he's in the Netherlands. Time for his bedtime. All right, well, I'm going to wrap this up. If you want to talk to me, just hashtag talk, hashtag I need to talk to you now, hashtag I want to make 20K plus months, hashtag anything to get my attention when I look at this again. If anybody has any questions, I'll stay out for another few seconds, and then I'm going to take off. Margaret, thank you again, Jeanne. Got to run attending a virtual fund. Oh, but you're going to put your nice dress on, Margaret? Okay, have fun with that fundraiser. It's takeaway, yeah, Nigeria. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. If nobody has a pressing question, you can always ask me in the comments as well. All right, if you want to talk to me, to get on a call, to potentially work with me, say hashtag talk, I won't bite, and I'll figure out some way of getting you to 20K plus months online without funnels or ads. All right, you're welcome, Andrew. Andrew, we have to talk. All right, cheers to a very productive week ahead. Yes, Gregory, I'm looking forward to it. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week, Saturday live at 5. Of course, you know on my timeline there's a lot of goodness in there as well. God bless you all. Mwah! And I'll see you next week. Bye.